push that, push, keep pushing, push that, push, keep pushing, push that, push, keep pushing. No matter what you're going through, I want to see you push it, push that, push, keep pushing, push that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they
died somewhere else. They didn't die here. You see how they did it? But except the person who got his head cut off, yeah, of course he died.
We couldn't lie about that.
Yeah, he.
So let's do this, man. So when you come home, I see you. You come here. Now let's talk about the fact of how we get to Maham the Mentor, the book. The Black Massacres, how you came up with the concept. What made Maham say, I'm going to write a book? Even though I know you was well educated, because when I talked to you, I knew that you was on something totally different than everybody else around me. So good luck on this book, man. I love what you wrote in the book, and I'm just going to be real with you. I'm going to sit back and let you tell me how this thing came about.
I wrote this book because, as I was talking to kids, right? On the anniversary of this book, on the anniversary
Hold the book
of Black,
up. Let me see what we got here.
On the anniversary,
and it's on your shirt too.
Right. On the anniversary of Black Wall Street, I had one of the youngsters that I was talking to. He was coming telling me about Black Wall Street.
Did you see this?
I seen that. I like that.
Black Wall Street. We here, baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So they were telling me about Black Wall Street like it was the only one that happened, and they were telling me like I didn't know about it. And I was just like, it's a shame that once we get the information, we want to share it. And I said, that is a blessing. But at the same token, when I started to elaborate that this wasn't the only Black massacre, he was like, nah, this the only one. He was like, nah, this the only one. I'm telling you. This ain't, because if I would have knew about it by then, so I was telling him, well, did you know about this Black massacre? Did you know about that Black massacre? He was like, nah, I didn't know about none of that. So I said, you know what? I need to write a book. Because not just on Black massacres, because we need to know about Black history. Mm-hmm. So as I was writing the book, and I'm writing the book, and I'm hearing on the news constantly that the government is trying to limit what they teach Black students on Black history. They don't want to teach the truth on Black history. And I was like, well, if we don't talk about what goes on in this book, because right now we're going through voter suppression, right? They're trying to limit critical race theory. They whitewash history, and they voter suppression was all, Black massacres was caused by voter suppression.
Wow.
So you got to realize this book isn't just Black massacres. This book is called The Black Massacres, a tribute to Black Wall Street, the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, the first 27 Black massacres in America after the Civil War. 27 war after the war began, right? And the reason why I say after the war began, because before the war began, slavery existed. So before then, massacring Black people wasn't even a crime or something that would probably be documented. It's something that could have been done and swept under the rug and just whatever. But after the Civil War began, then everything was pretty much documented. So one of the biggest things that happened, like one of the biggest riots, you ever seen the movie Gangs in New York?
Yeah, I have.
You seen it?
Yes.
Now, the movie Gangs in New York, since you've seen the movie, right? This movie was about the first Black massacre.
But it didn't seem like it.
But you can't tell by the movie, could you?
No.
Because the movie is called Gangs in New York and not the first Black massacre, because the gangs in New York, what they got is about the Bowery Boys and the natives, right? Right? Or the Dead Rabbits, right? The Dead Rabbits is the Irish immigrants, and the natives, Bowery Boys, is the natives. Mm-hmm. Both of them racist.
Wow.
So if you see the end of the movie, it says the riot breaks out. The Dead Rabbit riot happened in 1856. The New York City draft riot did not happen until 1863.
Wow.
So we talking about, this is about 6 years different. So this riot had nothing to do with the Dead Rabbits or the natives or the Bowery Boys. This was all about these white boys killing the government of the United States of America and then massacring all the Black people out of New York City. New York City at this time, all the Black people lived in Manhattan.
Wow.
That's why Manhattan got cleared out. That's why Manhattan's one of the most newest built places down there, because it was destroyed during this this New York City draft riot. We know how destructive or how deadly the Civil War is, right? Mm-hmm. The most deadliest insurrection in United States history was the Civil War. The second most deadliest insurrection in the history of the United States of America was the New York City draft riots.
Wow.
Now, and they try to, it was a draft riot. It was the Bowery Boys and the Bowery Boys. They was together.
Wow.
You see it in the house.
How did you get this information?
How did I get what information?
The information about the New York, the movie, the gang movie about it being really a mirror of really the oppression or the massacre of the blacks.
Well, I knew about this riot before the movie came out.
Okay.
Because when I was in prison, I couldn't read and write. When I first went to prison, I was street smart, right? Me talking when I first got locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to prison, I couldn't read, and so I had to learn how to read, teach myself how to read again, which I accidentally taught myself how to read by reading those books, Donald Goin books, Iceberg Slim books, and all these gangster books. And by me reading that, because I ain't never read a book in my life, people be like, man, you 18, 19 years old and you never read a book? I'm like, I sell drugs. Mm-hmm. You know, I rob people. I will bust your head. What you mean read a book? What I need to read a book for? That wasn't on my thing. You feel me? I was on some real live busting in the head. Reading a book was not something I would never probably did until I got incarcerated. So I read those books. After a while, I read so much until my reading got so good. I stopped reading the gangster books and I started reading documentaries.
Wow.
And then when I read all the documentaries. I could read Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, everybody, man. There's so many. So I read all the documentaries I can read, and then I read a book called How to Use Both Sides of Your Brain.
Wow.
About your brain power, teach you how to mind map, speed read, memorization. And after that, I told myself I would never again read another fictional book. If I can't read something that's not going to benefit me or nothing like that, I'm too smart to be reading these books that can affect my mind and what I read. So I got to be careful of what I put in there. So after a while, with nothing I could read, so I started reading encyclopedias. Now, when I was reading encyclopedias, that's when I would find out about these riots. But I mean, like I say, when I would run across the Atlanta riots or the Wilmington, North Carolina riots, I would read about them in the book. And I would get mad about it, and I'd read, and I would always be that's how it passed my time. So that's how I got familiar with these Black Massacres, by reading encyclopedias while I was incarcerated. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have knew about a lot of them. Wow.
So that's dope that you would bring it to the forefront. And I noticed you mentioned the New York one first, and in the book you start off with that.
That's
one.
The first one, but it's the biggest one.
It's the biggest one, so that's why you start with that one. But then when I started looking, I said, man, it's 27 of these things, man. It's like, I never knew that. I was more prone to this, what you said, the same way you explained it. I would talk about Oklahoma, and you see that one because many people
they publicize
that one. Yeah. But it's 27, and I think that's dope that you brought that to the forefront.
It separates yourself, and see, by reading the book, hopefully people can understand. See, most of these black riots were behind the black vote, and that's what I'm saying. This first black riot, right? This first black riot was behind Abraham Lincoln enforcing the New York City draft on the citizens of New York City, and those citizens refusing it. This was the second time that they had draft day. So this was the first time. And when it popped off, it just popped off. And the first people they attacked wasn't the black people. They attacked the police. They attacked all the rich people. They tore up Fifth Ave. And then they started annihilating all the black people. You know what I'm saying? But that was behind the draft. And then, but after that, it was all that after that, all the other black riots, I'm saying for the next 10 or 15 black riots was all behind political reasons. The black vote. They did not want, when we were allowed to vote, I think we had 136,000 registered voters when black people were allowed to vote. 4 years later, we went from 136,000 black registered voters to like 4,000.
Wow.
And then 2 years after that, they went from 4,000 to 2,000. And we talk about, this is why Ku Klux Klan and all these gangs weren't created to just kill black people.
It was fear tactics.
They were here to stop black people from voting.
Fear tactics.
And they did that by fear tactics. People like, Ku Klux Klan, hey, black, they're just here. I said they had a reason to be here. Stop just being, focus. What were they here for?
Wow.
They were here to stop you from doing what? Voting.
Wow, Maham the Mentor is in the building, guys. You better get it. Hey, you better tune into this one. This is heavy, man. Information that really our people need this, man. You know, when you look at our people and the stuff that conditioned us over the years, how much do you think all of those riots and the things that go on with those people then versus what goes on in the black communities today? What do you think any of that transpired from that? Meaning
you talk about the lack of
the
trust,
intellect.
Yeah, you talking about, because we talk about where do black people get this mistrust of the police? Well, it's in the book. Because sometimes in Memphis, Tennessee, in a couple of these Black Massacres, the police and the fire department participated in the Black Massacres.
Wow. So how do you feel like it's something that? How do we fix it? I'm the fix it guy. Like I'm always saying, what can we do to make a difference? How do we change the narrative to make it to where our people can start to grow and heal? Is it counseling? Is it you doing the outreaches you doing, or how do we start to help the situation?
Well, I say we start talking about real issues, right?
Okay.
Like family. The most important thing that I can realize from all the studying I've been doing, the most important thing that this country probably needs to see is strong families, black families, white families, it needs to be a family. That means man, woman, and child. And people talk about, we talk about all of this family, like everything, we need to include everything, but we can't even fix the one old thing that we used to have. That's man, woman, and child. And what's the most important thing that your family is supposed to be doing? Your family is the people who hold you accountable. And tell you shouldn't be listening to Meg and the Stallion and Papa. Your mama is supposed to be telling you that, not a preacher, a teacher, no, but mamas and daddies is the one that's doing it. The family nucleus is an accountability thing. That's where your grandma and all that, because your family was gonna let you know what you represented. Okay. And say, we don't represent that no more. We represent it as a family because you on this team. And now it's the family's being taught. The family it's about individuality.
I'm gonna get into this a little bit. Nas X, it was a picture of him with his stomach, because I know
showing like he's pregnant.
like he's
bless
pregnant.
his heart.
Where does this come from? Like
a lack of attention.
But because I think about like different culture, different people, ethnic groups being around him, and I know that's a part of it. I mean, and he does this because of the entertainment field, of course. His influences, that's the thing I think about sometimes. What is the effects? Why? What is that for?
Again, the human being, they say, I teach people this all the time. You need your family for accountability, right? But the human being is a special, unique creature. All the creatures around the planet, right? The human being is one of the few things we require attention. That's why they always tell our children, you got ADD, you got attention deficit. You can't pay attention, because a human being, we desire attention. And what kind of attention do we desire? We desire compliments. So human beings are controlled by compliments. Your hair look good today, man. You're doing good. Your book said, oh man, you're good. And if you're not getting compliments, if somebody's not paying you attention, if somebody's not giving you that, then you have a lack. You got, what am I doing? Ain't nobody saying that. Ain't nobody watching me. So sometimes you got to realize that will control people. So then when you start watching them, you say, well, why is he doing that? So like, for instance, for me, I'm a gangster. So in my adolescence, I want to be gangster. So I got to get the people to believe in my philosophy, right? So I got to do things to get the type of attention so they can talk about it and give me the type of compliment. So when I'm out in the street, somebody say, "What's up, fool?" Like, "What's up, fool?" Oh, you handling? What are you talking about? What you talking about? As soon as he move out, boom! But you see Mayhem, Mayhem don't be playing. That's what I live for. I wanted that type of attention. That fool seen that, ask him. How many times somebody say to ask him? They'll tell you about, because they want somebody to verify that they got to the attention, and they want you to give them same. So it's all about attention. So when I see a kid show me, say, why did this kid go to this, walked into a church and slapped the preacher? I said, because he wanted somebody to say, man, he crazy, because that's the type of attention he desired at the time. But my thing is, be careful of what you allow to control yourself, because again, this is what we talk about: power over principles and principles over power. So when you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing is because you don't even understand. Because at that time, I didn't understand why I would pull a gun out in front of everybody and shoot and do something like that. And then because I really didn't want to do that, but I did it because people were around. And I knew if they were around and they saw it, then people would talk. And they would tell, they would there, those compliments would be out everywhere. And people would, and I would get that, and then people would know me as that. And my name would ratify, and I would become known, and so forth. So when you got somebody like a Lil Nas X, who every chance he gets, you got first off, look at who is Lil Nas X? Who is he?
He's just a kid that was a barb. He was a barb, and
Lil Nas X before Little Country Road was a vagabond. Was a kid who slept on his sister's couch on the bed, but nobody in their right mind ever get this anything. He was a little kid who slept on the couch of his sister. He was almost kicked out. He was almost homeless.
So you went deeper. He was a barb and that.
He was a.
He loved Nicki Minaj. That's how they discovered him. But yeah, I get what you said.
That's not. That's I don't see. That's all. That's a facade. We're
Okay.
talking about before all this.
Yeah.
Before he had to go there. Before he had to sell his. Do what he had to do. Free himself, right? Because this is all this old free stuff, right? So boom, you come out with Old Country Road, and you came out with a song clear you wasn't trying to express your gayness there.
That's right. That's true.
He don't come out the door doing it.
You don't come out no door doing that. You come out here, you make hit, and you realize you really ain't that talented. And then you understand, okay, well, I'm in the industry, and I made one song like, who's that? Gold All in My Mind.
Trinidad James.
Yeah, hey, one song can get you into that office where hey, sir, you want to get with us? Hey, put this on. And he was so, if you was already one step from living on your couch, you almost got kicked out. That's why I say, that's why I want to teach my kids, get the bag. Entrepreneurship and financial literacy is one of the most important things your family is supposed to be teaching you, so you can be financially stable, so you don't have to compromise who you are and do the Lil Nas X stuff. Because again, the first thing, let me tell you something about Lil Nas X and anything that's homosexual, right? The first thing that I feel that you have to do in order for you to be a homosexual is you have to go against your family.
Wow. Let me ask you this. So you called me one day and you was like, man, T.I., man, he went on, I think he was on the Breakfast Club, and you was like, put me in touch with T.I. I don't remember what the subject was about, but
the subject was about, he was talking about the guys.
The man police ended up arresting looked like he had a gun in his hand. A witness with a cell phone caught him pounding the woman he was arguing with. We are only...
Cell phone video from across the street captured the incident, 4:26 Thursday morning. Police say the 24-year-old woman said she'd been driving the wrong way in the 2800 block of Elm Street.
Guys in Dallas, when we had an incident down here in Dallas.
Sure did. That was exactly what it was.
The woman was going down the wrong way street in Dallas. The white dude that was trying to help her out while telling her, ma'am, you're going down, because downtown Dallas can be confusing. So he was really trying to go out there in good faith and trying to help the lady. The lady got out there talking sideways to the dude. You feel me? Talking, like, yeah, don't tell me, and it's just like,
the black woman thing.
Comfortable talking sideways to the guy who you really don't know. She don't know this guy. You don't know him. But you get out the car talking to him like you really know him. Like sometimes people don't know me, but you're talking real comfortable. So the dude tell her, look, hey man, I don't know who you think I am. I'm not the guy that you want to play with. He pulls out the hammer. It's on video. She pull out her phone. I got a phone. I'm gonna record you. He slapped the phone out her hand to let her know, I'm serious.
Get that back.
I don't even care about your phone. Your phone go flying. iPhone. Psh. He still got the gun in his hand the whole time. She swing on him. Boom. Boom, he unleashed on her. He rock her, boom, sleep her, boom, drive off. People's like, why you need help? So to people like T.I., as black people, we already got to dunk and dodge and survive so much adversity as it is. Now you want a black man who already avoided prison, jail, dope cases, all type of everything, madness, to come give his life up for a black woman who clearly wasn't trying to stand down now time after she seen all the signs that said, sit down. The man get out the car. The black lady was wrong in every step of the way. You driving down the wrong way. The dude pull you out. He'd say, hey, ma'am, you're going the wrong way. You don't receive him wrong. You go off on him. Who you think you are?
I get it.
The man tell you what's up.
How
listen,
black people don't look at that now.
Listen, again, my thing is I tell people all the time, I don't know nothing but black people. So all I know is how to hold black people accountable. I don't know how to be around white people and be like, well, how white people think about it. I don't care about how white people think. This is how we need to tell. If this was my sister, I would say, what are you doing? Why would you think that playing with somebody with a gun is something that you think is cool, that you want to bring in my face? You want to tell me that you thought this was a good idea and you want our family members to keep trying to think you can? You can't. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to know how to walk away. It's not about you all the time. You ain't always gonna get your way. You can't always fight your way out of every situation. Come on, man.
That's Maham the Mentor, guys. Say, man, we love you, brother. Real talk. We love you, and you know you family. And this ain't the last episode. Me and you got to rock out. I told you that weeks ago. I told you that when me and you was outside talking. I said, we got to get this show done, and today we got it done.
You said until I got the book out.
Man, the book is out, man. Black Massacres, guys. Y'all got to go get that book, man. I'm reading it right now, to be honest with you. Over and over again. It's wisdom, man. 27 massacres when you only talk about the one.
Listen, it says wisdom and knowledge in the most unfortunate places.
Wow.
Right? And so many people don't want to read the book, or they feel like I'm trying to do the book. I did not write this book to shame or condemn anybody white. I wrote this book because I'm tired of hearing people say, ain't nothing changed, man. Everything's still the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. We changed a whole lot. We changed a whole lot, man. And if you knew better, you do better. The more you know, the less you can't be manipulated by anybody, even me. That's why I say, I ain't trying to trick you, man. Go teach something. So if we all on our A game, they can't stop us. But if you worry about me and I'm trying to stop you and everybody, you know, that's why I say, man, we can be sharp. We can all be on the A game. And that's why I need my family to hold me accountable. That's why I was telling you again, your family is what holds you accountable. That we losing that. We losing our accountability protection. And without our accountability protection, we can't be our best self.
Wow. Thank you so much, man. God bless you and your family, man. And you family to us. So, hey, man, we going to always, you know my number. Yeah, you can call me anytime. Check it, man. Hey, man, it's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101.
And we out.
Push it.